Game 2 of our doubleheader is a big one for the Metro East and for a couple of teams who hope to make a run in sections. The North St. Paul Polars and Tartan Titans on this glorious late September evening. I'm Mike Pete and she's Berg Ellenberg. And Berg, North St. Paul, they have one of the state leaders in goals in Gino Sarabia Pinzon, 21 on the season. That's good for third. And if you're curious about his performances, yes, he's done well in games where North St. Paul has won big, but he also has come up clutch against the likes of Hill Murray, Stillwater, some of the higher level teams. So the junior forward, as he comes out onto the field, not afraid of stepping up in the spotlight.
Yeah, taking a look at both of the teams here, the roster is a little fuller for North High School. And looking at Tartan Titans, we have about half their team as seniors who will be participating as this is senior night. So we get a look at the bench. Nathan Sarmiento Guzman, who is 2 assists and 6 goals.
And number 26, junior defender.
Tartan nowhere near North St. Paul in terms of offensive firepower. And so that may put this game in favor of the Polars. But Tartan does have 5 wins on the resume. They have struggled a little bit against teams around their caliber. They don't have as many quality performances compared to North St. Paul. The Polars lost to Simley earlier this year. They were the number 3 team in Class 2A. As we take a look at the Metro East Conference, and it's all over the place. Simley in 3rd, but that's because they have 1 less tie, but they do lead 9-1-1. Hill Murray building their way back, got to the section final last year. They could be a contender in 4-2A. North St. Paul, I would have to think they would be a team to watch when you have one of the top goal scorers in the state. So a lot of teams from this conference, Berg, could be a factor in section play.
Absolutely. We see the Tartan Titans lining up here, being called out onto the field, getting ready to start as both teams prepare for the lineup and prepare for the national anthem here as once the Titans finish up their roll call.
And it looks like we'll just jump right to the game. North St. Paul started the year with 4 straight wins before their lone loss that came against Simley. The 3 draws, Minneapolis South, Hill Murray, who is number 5 in Class 2A, and Stillwater again. They're not wins, but the fact that you're able to hang with some of the best, as you get a look at Marco Palacios, the head coach for Tartan.
Looking so casual and relaxed as his team's about to take the field. And you can see some of the rapport he has with his players.
And that is Dan Torres, the head coach for North St. Paul.
That's a tight and tidy bench. I had a coach like that as well, where bags were lined up neatly on the sideline, no gear hanging outside or around, clothes picked up, nice and tidy all over the place. And it does speak to the professionality of the team that you care enough to look sharp, but doesn't always indicate that you're going to win. We see goalkeeper number 81 for the Titans, Santiago Herreres Edgutas, getting ready for this match. Also a senior, celebrating senior night. I was watching Santiago warm up and I saw some good form. So as a former goalkeeper, I do pay attention as goalkeepers warm up, whether I'm doing color commentary or watching a game in general. That's usually what I'm watching before the match starts. We also got to look at the goalkeeper for North St. Paul. And off we go.
That's Alan Escobar Perez. Santiago Herrera Guzman Tartan's keeper, 732 save percentage, 41 saves coming into this contest. But a lot of jockeying with these two as we are in the final 2 weeks of the regular season. Soccer is a short season, Berg, with just a 6-week period, and that's to get the games in before the weather turns.
That is pretty short.
You have to think when the playoffs start in early October around here, it can get pretty chilly. Maybe not as bone-chilling cold as yesteryear, but you get some of those crisp fall nights, especially around section final time, where folks have to put on the jackets and the gloves. It's North St. Paul with the white and black numbers. Get our first look. That's Andrew Ortiz. And you're right, it did sail. I'm trying
out
to
of the back.
Sail what? I missed that reference. This may be a first. This is an historic moment. You slipped a reference past me.
What's up, guys?
I'll write it down as a red letter day.
North St. Paul and Tartan both in the same section, 4-3A. And just like Tartan in girls soccer, these two have to contend with that treacherous Suburban East. But the fact that North St. Paul was able to play Stillwater to a draw, and that is the only team, as I'm looking at the schedule one more time, the only team they drew even against. They beat White Bear Lake 5-1, but the Bears have just one win this year, taking a step back after moving forward last year. So the one quality game North St. Paul had in their section, as you take a look at their defense, Tartan's slightly better in that regard, averaging 1.6 goals allowed. North St. Paul 2.1. Throw-in coming up for the Titans, and number 10, Abraham Silva Jesus.
And the Titans will take another one, another throw-in.
But North St. Paul, they don't have any games against the top of the section, Woodbury, St. Paul Central, or Eastridge, but drawing even with Stillwater suggests that the Polars could be a surprising candidate in 4-3A.
Good timing on the defensive step, and North St. Paul works it out of the back pretty cleanly.
I expect this game. Deep ball. I was going to say I expect this game to be a little more intense, a little more strategy. Not a bad look from number 9.
Well, that's already the third deep ball that they've played to Sarabia Pinzon. And they're letting him take on the foot race. As long as they're not playing that ball too deep, where Herrera Heratus is able to scoop it up before North St. Paul can get there. I mean, it seems like that's their strategy so far. Work the ball up to the middle of the field and then punch it forward.
I have to think North St. Paul has plenty of confidence in number 9 as he speeds to the ball, and Tartan's keeper, and pretty much any keeper, I imagine, in the scouting report, has to keep number 9 in check at all times. But you look at Sarabia Pinzon, hang on, Tartan has a shot that goes through the upright, so we'll have a goal kick unless it was touched, and I don't think it was. But Sarabia Pinzon scored in the game against Tilbury, scored both goals against Stillwater. So this is a young man who has stepped up in those big performances. So I wouldn't be surprised if you see more deep balls coming his way. We do have a brief score update. I'll share that when we get a moment from another big game and our first foul.
Yeah, good call there.
And we'll go against Kevin Cruz Medina. And Tartan will get the first set piece on this free kick chance.
Smart for the ref to set the tone early. What's going to be allowed, what's going to be allowed to play, and what's going to be called. So holding that officiating will be important for this game.
Nathan Sarmiento Guzman. Lobs it.
That was a great ball played to the backside and too far out for the goalkeeper to really get a hand on it, but close enough that there are a lot of bodies on that ball, and the net is not too far away to give a quick head in.
Again, played well, just didn't carry him the right way. Score update for those of you who may not be watching multiple screens. Game 2 of the WNBA semifinals. At halftime, Minnesota leads Phoenix 48-32.
That's a pretty good lead at the half.
A win for the Lynx would put them one away from reaching the finals. These two have a ways to go before they can get to their section finals. Next week, the final week of the regular season, and then sections will start the week after that and will wrap up by MEA week. That's how it usually works here. Both teams getting a chance at the net in the early going. Again, if you were to gauge North St. Paul, to me, a slight favorite based on their resume.
Yes, and so far, possession has been fairly equal. Although a lot of balls going out of bounds, a lot of stoppage for foul calls and whatnot, and that can break up some of your momentum as a team. But from one team compared to the other, as far as possession in this game goes, fairly even thus far.
Jose Rodriguez from just inside midfield sent a laser that Tartan is able to collect. I do expect more intensity and technicality in this matchup compared to our first one, but there's a lot on the line. It's not just a conference game, Berg. It's also a game that could determine section seeding. And remember, this is the district rivalry game, so soccer may be not as illustrious compared to American football in prep sports, but for those who get a chance to play those rivalry games, there's always a piece of pride on the line as we get another free kick.
Yeah, we already see a sharper game going here. Some longer strings of possession. Right, Paul, that's about on goal. And I'd have to ask, was it a direct or an indirect kick? Could it have even gone in the goal without being touched? But wow, what a boot.
I believe that was a direct free kick. Because typically, if you're taking one inside midfield, assistant refs generally don't call an offside in that area. But at the boys level, Berg, as you probably have seen yourself, there is some serious kicking power. You've got some young men who can score from about midfield with a well-placed ball. This is Sarmiento Guzman. Ball
Couldn't get
spit
the
back
angle
out.
on that to connect for the pass.
Silva Jesus, wide right. And another interesting tidbit about this game, I just noticed this, Berg, we have a female head referee.
Yeah, she was on the sidelines earlier. The officiators rotated, so
okay.
The head ref from the previous game is doing sideline And likewise, the center ref who was doing sideline before this game.
I didn't have a chance to get her name because I was busy getting pronunciations and getting up here, but not too often you see a woman as the head referee for a boys game, but that does speak to soccer's global outreach. And it's very much representative with these two teams as North St. Paul scampers upfield. That's Ortiz, pitched off along the right side. He'll try to center it. Nearly does. Pass, shot, just high. But North St. Paul able to get a clean look at least. That was Chino Ceballos Boughton. And
just over the bar.
Well, good recognition by North St. Paul, as we'll see here, Berg, to get it out there.
Yeah, great placement. Right idea to drop. I imagine there's good communication going on in that box. Just needs to keep his body a little more over the ball to keep it down. The farther back you lean, the more it's going to sail.
Of course, it's not so easy to pull off when you're in the thick of it and you have a split second to respond to a pass that comes your way, a ball that comes your way, a ricochet, you name it.
Well, and that was another factor that was so impressive about Sasser in the last game, was her poise under pressure in front of the net to be able to keep the ball down and keep it on post. Great speed on the outside, just out dribbles.
I was going to say the same thing. These two teams can motor. As Tartan sends a shot from the outside. That ricochets over to North St. Paul.
Well, Tartan as a team and as a coach should be keeping an eye on that right side, that right lane. Clearly there's a good matchup in favor of the Titans for speed on that outside edge. If they can work that more and more throughout the night, will work in their favor.
Ball rolls out of play. North St. Paul will get it on the throw-in.
For the Fullers, number 6, Tao.
Coming in, number 21, Smith.
21, Smith.
Sophomore. Ready to play. Great hair.
I'm envious of him already. I turned into Jean-Luc Picard at an early age.
Nice clean slide there. All ball. And 3-on-1.
Ball pops up and out of play. With the level of speed decorating this match, Berg, those 50-50 balls I think are going to be even more crucial as this match progresses. Still 0-0. Over 13 minutes have gone by. No chances at the net yet.
Sarmiento Guzman, bright idea. His teammate just wasn't open, and sometimes in a position like that, you count on them to be open. You're playing a bit of a blind pass because he was marked by at least 2 other guys in a really tight spot. There's not a whole lot you can do at that point. We see him on the throw-in now.
Sarmiento Guzman. Ball goes to the middle. North St. Paul will track it. Abdi Malik Nur pushes it forward. There's Andrew Ortiz flooring it along the left side, but his pass deflected and picked up by Santiago Herrera Gadadus.
Tucked it in well. Players just weren't exactly at the spot of the ball, and goalkeeper was able to get it out of the way before.
North St. Paul will get it back on the goal kick. Sarabia Pinzon takes a spill. As you saw him chasing that loose ball. Like I said, if you lose track of number 9, that could spell trouble.
Yeah, beginner Garon really saved his teammates' booty on that. It was a long back pass. I think they were trying to maintain possession, but really bailed his teammate out on that play by being able to hold the ball and not turn it over at the top.
Saves their booty.
Yeah, well, I'm trying to keep it
first.
PG here,
Right.
Mike.
Family friendly. I've used posterior more than once.
Titans, number 20, Senator Segura Hernandez.
Still waiting for our first major chance. And it won't happen there. A little miscommunication. Noah Smith a little too far up.
Yeah, the Pullers trying to work it out of the middle and not a spot-on pass.
Tartan's got it again. Sarmiento Guzman getting plenty of touches on the offensive third. A lot of back and forth, Berg.
Yes, it is.
Throw in for the Polders. This is one of those blinking you could miss something, because one moment we're in the North St. Paul attacking side, the next we're dashing downfield to Tartan's end.
Not as long as the period of connections, the time span of possession being held. It's getting a little bit shorter. So we see the ball going out of bounds here. Although the North St. Paul player didn't really have a whole lot of options that his teammates were making available to him. And a little bit of kickball on the part of the Titans as well.
And with those shorter connections, that could put an even greater impetus, imperative on getting clean passes, because you may not have a lot of time to develop a set. You might have to attempt a quick strike maneuver.
Now that was good positioning and good organization by Titans. They lose it here on a bad touch, but their shape recovered pretty much immediately after they got the ball and regained possession.
Tartan will reset. Or I should say North St. Paul reset. Or Tartan did, yep. It was Tang
Smith with
Tao.
the good hair.
Smith out there to show that he's not just on the roster for his hairdo.
Didn't do a whole lot to avoid Travis on. Just dribbled right into him, really.
And the throw-in awaiting the Polders. Mauri Rodriguez. Tartan catches up to it. I'm deep league nerd. That was
They
close.
are working to keep the pressure here.
You're right. Nerd nearly had a chance.
Nice solid catch. Way to bring it in by Sarmiento Guzman. Or rather, Herrera's Heratus.
Is that how you say it?
Heratus.
Hedatus?
Heratus.
It's a silent G?
En español, sí.
I will take your word for it. My knowledge of Espanol has diminished since my college years.
Well, and you know, perhaps more like a Heratus. But I don't want to get a whole lot of saliva on this microphone.
Well, I talked to number 16, who is Eduardo Delgadillo Reyes, to help with pronunciations, and it was a quick session. But as we saw in the first game, as we see here, you look at the Tartan roster and North St. Paul as well, big multicultural melting pot. That actually has been a theme for North St. Paul over the last several years.
Foul on the outside seems like it'll be awarded to the Titans. They'll have a nice kick out of the back. And having Herrera take it for the team. Not too far out of the box. Pretty safe spot. Or rather, we'll have defender coming over. Number 4, Damian Smith.
I was told you could also use Herrera, and that was according to one of the team sources, but we certainly appreciate the pronunciation lessons.
Santi.
USA Cup.
When I asked who's the goalkeeper for Tartan, because it wasn't listed on the roster, she said, it's Santi. I said, who's Santi? Because we have Santiago listed. So then she put it, so Santi, if you're friends.
I could see that too. Ball nearly rolled past the touch line, but Noah Smith sends it to absolutely no one. And again, sometimes it's communication, other times it's just not knowing your own strength. As you mentioned, Berg, you approach the ball, how far you lean back, how far you go forward, running start, all of those factors can influence trajectory and velocity.
Well, really, the more tired you get, the less likely you are to want to dribble and hold it and be creative. The more you're looking for someone to just pass it off to. And Smith has certainly been going pretty hard on this outside.
Tartan going hard, and the shot goes over the net. A sailor from number 10, Silva Jesus. As we see in the replay, he did a great job to get himself open around the defense, just put a little too much on it.
Yeah, fortunately got the ricochet, so we'll have a corner.
Our first corner of this match.
Right at the back post of the 6. Great placement, a little bit of bend. Oh! Wow.
And our first save. It belongs to Alan Escobar Perez.
I tell you, that's actually not the easiest save because you're reading an arced trajectory, which can easily sail over the top of your head. So Escobar Perez did have to back up to get that into his hands. Well done to read the trajectory of the ball.
Not unlike what I have to do in Rocket League.
Rocket League? What's Rocket League?
Rocket League, the car soccer video game. It's been
I'll
around
take
for
your
10
word for
years.
it. I believe it, Mike.
It's been around for 10 years. They have an E-Series. They have a championship E-Series that's part of it. Well, I guess I dropped something. I dropped a fun fact on you.
Yeah, that's true.
Well, does that make us even?
You got a reference on me.
Well, you got
Yeah.
one on me, so
Yeah,
I think we're even now. 1-1.
Yeah, 1-1.
We'll have a secondary scoreboard. No,
Yeah, we can get graphics on that, right? Berg and Mike. Obscure references.
Oh, you should see when Moose and I get together.
I can only imagine, except that I imagine that the two of you would get most of each other's references.
We pretty much do.
Yeah. I think it would be the listeners. Or,
I think
or
we are the
maybe
most
me.
insufferable pairing in the history of broadcasting. Approaching the 15-minute mark here, still waiting for our first goal. And Berg, we've seen a lot of ground cover. These two teams can fly, but just one shot on goal. And the save by Escobar Perez. The defenses keeping it together so far.
Yes, a lot of speed, a lot of movement, a lot of effort. Not a lot of coordinated opportunities up top. And sometimes it's all right to have chaos. You know, you put the ball in the box and knock it around, hope for the best. That is an offensive strategy. But would love to see a little more of a coordinated offensive attack, especially for the Titans, which seems to be more of a bop around the box situation. We have seen a couple of good looks by North St. Paul that were a little more connected.
North St. Paul looking for the deep ball.
That's a left foot.
And they nearly pull it off.
That ball had a lot of momentum. It's easy to get too heavy of a touch on a ball that's already moving that fast. And I can absolutely see why 25, well, I think it might be 26, Rodriguez is playing on the left defense because, wow, that was quite the left-footed kick.
Meanwhile, Tartan nearly pulled off a counter, and in desperation, Swintoski-Florlis had to clear it, conceding the throw-in, but without it, Tartan would have had an odd-man opportunity.
And looking out of the back, that's a great turn to be able to get around your defender, but just kicks it blindly to the top of the box, and there's no one there.
And a moment ago, that was Andrew Ortiz, who nearly caught up to that deep ball. I know we were talking a lot about number 9 as we get a whistle. It's an injury stoppage.
Morales.
Yes, they say Sender Segura Hernandez, number 20.
Roster. Yeah, you know, he was actually the one that slid in to try and break up the play. And it wasn't an unclean slide tackle coming in necessarily. But he's the one that ended up getting hurt at the end of it. Hard to say what happened there. Maybe an ankle or a hand got in the way. But a little slow to get up.
As it's on the replay.
We've got the sock down, looking at the shin. Those cleat marks, oy. Getting cleated is no joke, especially at that high speed.
For the Titans, number 36, Soleil Aiden.
That can leave a dent, no pun intended. Especially when you're barreling at high speed, as Berg noted. Segura Hernandez with the challenge to stop Cruz Medina's momentum. And at the pace we have seen, it's not just one or two. A lot of these athletes, Berg, they can move, they can motor. They are hustlers.
Yeah, these nicks at this high of speed, okay, you might not be tearing a ligament or you know, losing your meniscus or blowing that out, but when the movement is that quick, a cleat to the shin is, yeah, you want to sit on the sidelines. You want to take a minute, put some ice on it or something of the kind.
Especially if you take a knock to one of those more sensitive areas. I'm guessing you've been there when you jam your knee.
Oh, yeah. Well, my left tibia is never going to be straight again.
I hope it's straight enough.
Yeah, I'm walking around. I got a few stairs just fine.
So it's not 100% straight. It's
no, it's
99.
It's a reminder.
Who needs your tibia anyway? Actually, I know a player on the Gophers roster who had to overcome a broken tibia in high school and has turned into a reliable contributor. So it doesn't have to be 100% straight to be productive. Where are we? 13-10 left in the first half, and a throw-in coming up for the Titans. The ball and the players have gone every which way, but neither team has been able to rip the net yet.
We've got 5 Tartan players in or near the box trying to work this in, although not one of them was uptight against the final defender, which did not work in their favor, and now North St. Paul has cleared it out, only to be put right back into their face here. Quick transitions.
Tartan trying to slice up the middle. Ooh. Shot deflected. Nur to Florlis. No goals yet, but no lack of activity. And maybe it comes down to whoever makes a mistake first.
North St. Paul is playing fairly cool and collected, just working the ball little by little, holding on. Wow, what a tip behind. And a great ball into the corner. Not too many people in the middle, but they can still make it work here.
Tartan able to get in front of it. I don't think North St. Paul had a chance. Oh, look out.
Ortiz was trying to put it right back in, but just couldn't get it off.
Almost did. That could have been exciting.
That was a great attack by North St. Paul. You know, it was stymied by the Titans, but man, it had a lot going for it. And if they can put together a couple of more of those situations, they'll be in the back of the net before too long.
It's the speed of Sarabia Pinzon and Ortiz makes that attack even more potent. We saw Ortiz fly down the left side, and Sarabia Pinzon, not as many touches over the last few minutes. Oh, there's a jersey tug. We play on. Tartan has possession. Maybe that's why we play on. That's Sarmiento Guzman.
Nice touch to clear the ball out of that traffic. Still holds on to it.
That's Abdiaziz Shire.
Excellent control.
And he wants to take it himself. Now he'll hook up with Ortiz, the Rocket. Ortiz
Getting
boxed
pushed
out, and
off
he's
the ball.
pushed.
Wow. Now the first push, that was working the guy off the ball, but the second push, you're too far away from the ball to get that kind of a body check in.
The first one was okay. The second one, not so much. And now we're going to get a yellow.
Ah, yes. Yeah, there you got the elbow coming out too. That's going to get called every time as soon as you get an elbow out.
Yellow to number 29, Anthony Albino Giron, in the 30th minute.
And essentially giving away a corner kick.
It's a quasi corner. It is a free kick, but yes, pretty much from that spot.
He has been issued charges number 23 and 29.
Shire to put it in play. Far post! It goes off the post and in!
Wow.
Our second doink of the day.
Just a little bit ahead on that is enough to get it in and not sail it over the top when you can calmly hit it off the head. Oh, wow, what a celebration. Those guys definitely earned it.
Well, take a look on replay, but based on the celebration, it was Tomas Sarabia Pinzon who scored.
29.
Shire with the assist. And it is the header.
Oh, my
Oh,
gosh.
it was touched by the keeper, so it wasn't quite a doink, but
Now, Santi did have a hand on it. It got a little bit under his hand and then was able to bounce off the post underneath him, really. Enough of a hand that he stopped the momentum of the ball, but couldn't push it out or stop it completely, and it ended up going underneath his body. That's tough. To even get a hand on it is a great save. Because you don't have the same kind of reaction time when it's that close. And additionally, when the ball is coming off someone's foot, it's more predictable. When it's coming off of someone's head, there are so many different angles and heights that it can be placed at. Reading a header as a shot, that is so difficult for goalkeepers. So for Santi to even get a hand on it at all speaks to his skill.
Tomas Sarabia Pinzon, his third goal of the season, and Shire, his second assist. Coming in, it was 9 and 10. Gino Sarabia Pinzon and Andrew, they were the players to watch, but Tomas is saying, don't forget about me. You had me thinking, Berg, with headers, and I suppose it makes sense because it depends on where you go. I'm wondering if even the shape of your head could alter where a shot goes.
Well, sure. I mean,
Because
you're
not
hitting-
every person's head is shaped symmetrically.
Yeah, sure.
Me, for example, I have a really big head, so
Well, you know what's
I might have
underestimated
sent that.
is
Go ahead.
what's underestimated is a matter of getting the height of your body before you're even heading it. So we saw in the girls' game a couple of headers sailing over the top because they're heading from underneath. If you can let the ball fall to the ground a little bit more and or jump to get more height, then you can use the force of your body and your neck to direct the ball into the net, just as you would be putting a shot off your foot into the net. And so well done by North St. Paul to work that kind of skill. Wait for the ball to get just a little bit lower if you can, or get your body higher up so that you're coming to the ball from the side instead of coming from underneath it and heading it over the top.
That elbow that led to a yellow for Albino Giron leads to a goal for the Polars by Tomas Sarabia Pinzon off the free kick from Abdiaziz Shire.
Yeah, I imagine they're going to want that penalty back. And, you know, you have to ask, was it worth it? Was it worth it to throw that elbow on a contested ball in the corner? What kind of shot is really going to come off of that? Now,
Right.
yes, he could have gotten a cross in, but
That's a really tough angle, though, where he was at.
Right.
So it's one of those, when you're in the corners like that, is it possible? Yes.
Here we have the offender, number 29, who's really just playing with heart. You know, Anthony Albino Guerron, and wants to go hard. That's a defender for you. They want to go hard.
Oh, absolutely. Tartan getting some throw-ins here, and the Titans still in this game, so it's not like they threw their chance away or sent it out the window.
No, not at all. They're still in it. They're still focused. They've got the ball in the attacking third. You can see Labakan doing a second throw-in. That's a great touch into the middle.
They have generated a few chances of their own.
See, that's a time where you've got enough space to make it a two-touch play. Take the first touch, settle the ball, and get a better touch on the second ball, because now North St. Paul has the momentum starting from the middle. They're working it up, and it didn't have to be turned over in the first place.
Now the Pullers in a tight spot.
Yeah, they want the corner on that.
They will get it. And it will be Andrew Ortiz to put it in play. First corner for the Pullers, just 2 corner kicks altogether in the first half.
You see Ortiz with the captain's band as well.
Ortiz leads the team in assists with 12 entering this contest. Here comes.
Ooh.
That was close. Second try.
Wow.
Save by Herrera Hedatus.
Gets the ball out quick, but a little bit too quick for his team to catch up. Here they're recovering.
I think both pin zones had a chance at it. And Andrew Ortiz coming in, Berg, tied for third in the state in assists. And number 1, their conference rival, Michael Hernandez Ruiz of Simley.
Yeah, when you have that many assists, I like to think of players like that as a player for the people, or the people's kind of player, where you're there as a supporting force, the unsung hero.
Player for the people. Are you suggesting he run for office when he's old enough, when he's eligible?
I mean, I can't say. I don't know his policies or his organization here, but I wouldn't turn it down.
All right, well, we'll set up a candidate form for him. And you can make that determination yourself. Throw-in coming up for Tartan with under 5 minutes remaining in the first half. North St. Paul with the 1-0 lead.
Hugo Solis Guzman.
Guzman comes in.
And number 11.
Hugo Solis Guzman, to be precise. There are a couple of them out there.
Yes, both Guzmans. Sarmiento Guzman and Solis Guzman.
Now we'll get the throw-in from Bennett Labakan. Shot cleared out by the Pullers. Ricochet, and North St. Paul will just clear it. I don't think Sarabia Pinzone can catch up to it in time, no. That's not a bad play for North St. Paul if you can get someone downfield, but number 9, Gino, he's got speed, but I'm not sure too many could track it down from that distance. But a clearance can give you a little breathing room.
Titans are clearly working to get that ball back. We had 2 players in the midfield, and the effort resulted in this penalty here. It is clear that they're going hard to try and get the ball back as quickly as possible and get something into the net before halftime.
A free kick coming up. And it's Kevin Cruz Medina. It's low. Ooh. Flag was up. North St. Paul was offside, but not a bad try.
Beautiful placement. You see Santi again wanting to get the ball out quickly. There are advantages and disadvantages to that. If your team is ready and you're going to someone who is ready, who has support, you can use that to your advantage. See, now we have a quick turnover. We have forward players ready for the attack. That can work into your favor.
Ramirez Maldonado gets the cross, but it's a little too far for Nathan Sarmiento Guzman. And North St. Paul will try to get it out of harm's way again.
Puts the pressure. He loses the ball in the corner, but you'll notice doesn't stop trying to get it back, and eventually does end up winning it back for his team by putting enough shot.
And batting it away is Escobar Perez. He'll concede a corner.
See replay.
Right-footed strike by number 3.
Those balls come in fast.
And that goes over the uprights and out of play. On the header, I believe, by Smith. I was going to talk about clearances, Berg, being a keeper yourself, and if I remember my soccer rules correctly, there isn't a time limit.
With your feet, no. But once it's in your hands and you're clearing it out of the box as like a punt, it's usually 6 to 8 seconds, depending on the league rules. Great touch.
Speaking of punts, that was a low liner.
Well, that'll
that will
go
result
as
in
a corner kick, I believe, as Santi pushes it out, but does an awesome job of getting so low to the ground so quickly. Just drops his knee to the ground to get his upper body and his hands there and make that save. No one can begrudge him for pushing it out and having this result in a corner kick after a save like that.
Tomas will put it in play. Under a minute to go, second corner kick. Each team has 2 now. North St. Paul trying to bat it back. That one a little too far. What a first half. It's only 1-0. Feels like we could have a lot more goals, Berg, but
Absolutely.
the last few minutes have seen a lot of back and forth volleys.
Need to get this ball out if they're going to have an attack. And not sure what was going on there. Seems like they're calling this back as a throw for North St. Paul instead.
We have 10 seconds left.
North St. Paul, they got to hurry. 6 seconds. Toon with the throw in, and Tartan will clear it away. Taking us to halftime. North St. Paul with a 1-0 lead, but both teams understand the stakes, and they are sending everything they've got at their opponent.
Absolutely.
We'll be back with first half stats and analysis in an eventful first 40 minutes between our Metro East and district rivals. This is high school boys soccer on SEC Sports.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy. It's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is being prepared for the journey ahead. Love doesn't let any concerns go unsaid. Love is finding the right seat so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax. It always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat. Love protects.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong, so I won't sugarcoat it. I need each one of you on your A game. The good news is, Anthony, the human body we've been tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with brand new gear to defend against the flu. That's right, we've upgraded our game with this new equipment. They give you a little extra boost. So let's go fight for Anthony, for his mom, his co-workers, that nice lady Patricia that lives down the street with the cute dog. In the face of viral adversity, we make Anthony thrive so he can protect himself and the people he loves most. Are you with me?
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Achieving my goals as an adult was challenging without a high school diploma. With the help of an adult education center, I finished my high school diploma and it changed my life.
This yearbook is a testament to your accomplishments and how they have impacted all of us.
Getting my high school diploma made me feel like I can do anything. Now I can help the kids in my community achieve their dreams.
When you graduate, they graduate. Visit finishyourdiploma.org to find free and supportive adult education centers near you.
Love is a lesson that doesn't end. It knows no conditions, so you better buckle in. Love keeps you on your toes. It never stops, only grows. Love isn't easy, it's a commitment, especially when they're being their most resistant. Love is finding the right seat, so you can take a breath. But remember, love isn't lax, it always double checks. Check that your kids are in the right seat at nhtsa.gov/the right seat.
Sit up, team. When I look around this room, I see a fighting team of brave antibodies. But the flu is coming in strong. The good news is, Anthony, the human we're tasked to protect, just got his flu shot, which supplied us with strong new gear to defend against the flu. So let's go fight for Anthony. Are you with me?
Let's work as a team to defend against the flu. Gear up with a flu shot to help protect others and reduce your risk of being sick or hospitalized with the flu. Learn more at getmyflushot.org.
Another senior night ceremony taking place, this one by the Tartan bench, but it's North St. Paul who is headlining this one. 1-0 at halftime. Mike Beaton, Berg Ellenberger with you. After both teams, I don't want to say felt each other out those first 20 minutes, it certainly had that vibe. The action went to 11 and then some to end the first half, but the key turning point so far, a yellow card and Anthony Alpino Garon with an elbow. That set up a free kick from Abdiaziz Shire that found Tomas Sarabia pin zone for a header, giving North St. Paul the 1-0 lead.
Yes, both teams with a lot of offensive opportunities. Really, North St. Paul just had slightly more coordination in that offensive third. But both teams are fighting tooth and nail for every ball, and to win it back, to hold possession. Here we'll take a look. Great setup there. That was the organization. And a great setup, just didn't finish through on that last touch.
We've had a lot of close calls as well. A couple of big saves from Alan Escobar Perez. Here is one of them. Well, I thought it was. We might see one a little later. Here is the yellow card on the elbow.
Yeah, especially in the back. That's going to get called.
That was on Andrew Ortiz, who drew it. There's the header from Tomas Sarabia Pinzon, who got it just out of Santi's reach.
excellent.
Santi followed up with a save
Yes, excellent job off that header.
against the same player who scored on him earlier. And then here's the punch out by Alan Escobar Perez against Cardona Linares. And Ortiz challenging Santi once again. Ortiz's speed has proven tough to contain as we take a look at the halftime stats. As you pointed out, Berg, North St. Paul a little more organized, and that's why they have the advantage with shots and shots on goal. Tartan's still in it, though.
Absolutely. If they can get a little more connection and organization, absolutely, they're still in it. They could easily knock a few in. The Polars need to be on their toes, ready to go as they come off of this halftime gathering and have a little bit of an advantage to being able to stay focused and stay in it, because they're not celebrating senior night as the Titans are. So we see some seniors here getting honored, flowers, time with the parents. We heard a bit about each of them submitted answers about meaningful memories and advice, what they plan to do after graduation, and being able to stand with their parents and take a photo for the night. So, so this is time consuming. It's meaningful, it's lovely, it's tradition, but it can take away from the focus at halftime. It has the potential for that too. Now, we saw earlier in the game with the ladies that it did not seem to have an impact. So we'll see how the Titans come out of this.
They're wrapping up the senior night ceremony, and we'll have the second half in just a few minutes. This is high school boys soccer at SEC Sports.
Mom, did you really need to buy 2 can openers for our emergency kit?
I can't help it. They're 2 for 1. What's this?
We need to keep our family communication plan safe in case of an emergency.
Thanks, Tita. Oh, man.
Well, good thing we kept all the lights we used for Diwali.
I've got the battery pack.
Keep my phone powered so we don't miss any alerts.
What about game night?
Sounds good.
Oh, we have to get to Mom and Dad's and get them somewhere safe. I've got the evacuation route loaded on my phone.
I've got an updated list of Dad's meds.
And I've got just what we need to get them to take this seriously.
If that doesn't convince them that we thought this through, I don't know what would.
Start a conversation with your family and plan together for emergencies.
I'm a different kind of threat. I can't be scared away or negotiated with. You can't call the cops on me.
Do you still want to hang out after?
I don't want your money or your TV. I don't even have to break in. I'm invited.
Self-love made me a better dad because I realized my worth. Arapaho way, you gotta pray for yourself as well as for everybody else, but never forget yourself. The word father means a lot to me. When I give my love to my children as a father, I can see it. That's the benefit of being a father is seeing those smiling faces.
I feel sometimes that I'm not listened to. I feel that I'm not getting the attention that I need, and it's a lot built up in my chest. I would just want you to listen to me more often. and evaluate situations with me and lead me towards success.
Listening is a form of love. Find ways to support your kids at soundidouttogether.org.
There are a lot of temptations facing young people today, like electronic cigarettes and skateboarding. Each vape pod can contain the same amount of nicotine as a pack of cigarettes. This can lead today's youth to a lifelong addiction and severe lung damage. Recall and consider the facts before making a poor decision.
The health class film guy isn't the best person to talk to your kid about vaping.
Got a few minutes?
You are. Start the conversation with your child about vaping today.
When I came back from the war, I was barely hanging on by a thread. I'm here today because of Tanya's relentless efforts in trying to get me healed. And says, Michael, I know you've got a plan to take your life today, but if you give me just 5 more minutes to love you.
5 more minutes, 5 more minutes, honey, 5 more minutes to love.
Michael has actually taught me what it looks like to accept help.
Mike and Berg ready to give you 40 more minutes, just like Tartan and North St. Paul are, in this conference battle, district battle, and section battle. Both North St. Paul and Tartan in 4-3A. After this, the Polars have 3 games remaining with Matabidi, St. Thomas Academy, and 2 Rivers. And the Titans, they've got a few games ahead of them. They play tomorrow against Sibley.
Quick turnaround.
Then play 3 road games, including that battle with Hill Murray, and they'll wrap up the regular season October 4th against Cambridge I-Santee. Again, the winner of this game could get some more positioning in their section. 4-3A may be the hardest one to get out of for the victor lucky enough to qualify to the state tournament. And a foul will be called.
Yeah, it was a good call by the referee. Just a little bit of extracurricular on that, but enough to set the pace for the half.
That was on Silva Jesus. Free kick for the Polars. It will be Jose Rodriguez behind the midfield line, so we'll look to see him try to find a teammate upfield.
Not a problem with that left foot of his.
No, but as we've seen, Berg, how hard it is to connect with somebody when you go into a scrum like that. It's not unlike a Hail Mary in American football.
Yeah, the connection piece really comes down to that first touch. Who gets to the ball first and what the first touch is like. A ball coming from that far away, that much pace and force, is difficult to settle down right at your feet or to settle enough to make a spot-on pass to a teammate. Another strategy is to actually let the other team take the first touch. If they aren't as sharp as, say, a professional team, and clean up their touch. Wait for them to make the first touch, which is usually not the greatest touch, and then clean it up. Be the one to clean it up and turn the ball over.
North St. Paul, just 1 loss this year. That came against Sibley, who is one of the teams to watch in 2A.
Great turn on the outside.
That's Gino Sarabia, pin zone, gets it back.
Oh, with the give and go, just wide. That was well played. That was an organized lead up. Beast's man on the outside, on the left, gives a beautiful ball, splits the defense. Did Santi get a foot on that? I can't tell if it went wide or if he got a piece of it.
Well, North St. Paul got another chance, almost.
Excellent timing. Come off his line.
On that replay, I think it was wide right. That's how the officials ruled it. I didn't see contact, but that was a great chance. And Santi and the rest of Tartan probably exhaling that no play was to be had as the ball goes over the fence into the bleachers. Well, I should say in front of the bleachers. All part of the renovated facilities.
Yeah, we had a jersey pull and then some unnecessary contact, rather. 2 plays, 2 interactions in a row. Ref calls penalty and breaks it up.
As they say in high school chants, you can't do that. Specifically, you can't tug the jersey. So Tartan will get a free kick.
Yeah, she's going to call it back all the way to the jersey tug.
And that's where the foul occurred, but still within scoring range here. This is Nathan Sarmiento Guzman. Will he go direct? No, goes up on the hopper, and it will bounce just wide of the net.
Keeps it low. Not a bad strategy. You know, usually you want someone on the line to give it a redirect, and I'm not sure if his teammates just weren't ready or if it was coming in too fast for them to adjust and get a foot on it.
And as you pointed out, it can be easier to read balls as we get another foot race. Santi with the sliding save. I know it wasn't a shot on goal, but with number 9, Gino, barreling down, anytime you can clear it away, that feels like a save.
It is a save, and it depends very delicately on timing. So I noticed during his warm-up as well that he's not afraid to come off of his line. And on a game like this, his team needs him to. Ooh.
Alan Escobar Perez with the save off the free kick by Sarmiento Guzman. Bobbled it for a moment, but fell on top of the ball. No room for error here, Berg. I know it's a regular season game, but these two teams are eager to pounce. So a mistake for either side could open the door.
Stalwart defense for the Titans, shutting down the attack and pushing the ball back up, holding possession. Nice touch into the middle, little connection. I'm not sure about that. Taking a shot so far out, not the greatest angle, a lot of traffic, but they weren't drowning in opportunities either. So sometimes you hope for the best.
I've talked to soccer players in past broadcast work, and sometimes they have told me if they think there's a shot to be had, they'll go for it, even if it's not the best look or the best angle. You never know. The keeper might misplay it. It might ricochet off somebody. It could get lost in a crowd.
Absolutely.
It's easy to talk about shot selection when you're up here and not having to make these determinations, but another foul on North St. Paul.
Yeah, the initial slide was clean, but then we had number 10 playing from the ground, Ortiz, trying to continue to be a part of the play while being on the ground. They'll have Heratus coming all the way over the half to put this kick in. I imagine he'll be dropping back pretty quickly for the counterattack.
And he does, just in case, but a reminder that the keepers can roam the field. They can function as position players. The only thing they can't do outside the box is use their hands.
Well, I have to say, both teams are coming out strong physically. Nice, well, covered save, a little bobbled again by Escobar Perez. But neither team was sitting at halftime saying, oh, we should let up a little physically. Both teams have come out stronger, fighting for each ball and letting their presence be known. You know, even if
you think
not
about
right on top of the ball, putting your body on someone, running alongside them, giving nudges, gets into people's heads.
You think about the chances these two have generated from their aggressive posture. I don't think anyone would be thinking right away, let's lay off a little bit. Let the game come to us. I think if you're going to win this game, you got to create.
They both turned up the dial. Titans on the counter now, holding possession off the throw.
Working their way up the left side. A lot of traffic. North St. Paul gets in the way.
Yeah, 3-to-1 odds doesn't usually work out in your favor.
They'll get the throw in. 31 minutes, 15 seconds remaining. Again, regular season game.
Great placement. We see some space on the right side.
There's Ortiz. Tried to center it over to Gino.
Not the sharpest ball. They were still a little spaced out on that attack. It was a quick counter attack. Ooh, a collision there.
And a yellow coming up.
Not
I think.
you know,
or is it just for the injury?
Yeah, just for the injury.
Okay.
I'm concerned about the grabbing of the knee here because it wasn't the highest speed. And we can see more of the directionality and the pressure on the joint involved in someone going down than, say, just some quick cleat marks.
And a yellow has been issued. A yellow issued to Nathan Sarmiento Guzman, who made contact with Brian Zhang.
So we watch him step off the field, take a breather. Again, we see this aggressive play. Both teams are ready to go.
So the yellow goes to Sarmiento Guzman, but the foul is on North St. Paul, so Tartan got the free kick. And number 7, Salares Romero with a shot at Escobar Perez that the sophomore keeper hauls in. So a lot to unpack there. The foul was on North St. Paul, but the yellow went to Sarmiento Guzman. I'm wondering if he said something or
I don't know.
if something took place.
Hope the knee is okay regardless.
Abdi Malik Nur found a cutter. That nearly went in.
Was able to slice through that defense. A couple more shots on goal now for the Tartan Titans. They are starting to rack them up.
North St. Paul, they're not done either. Gino trying to center it. Ball goes back out. Shot, save. And Santi.
You can see how far off his line he is as well on that save. He's already at the 6 or even up beyond it. Hard to tell in a split moment, but he's so far off his line that he's in the way of those shots. He's narrowing down the angle possibilities that these strikers have by just getting close and getting his body in the way.
Andrew Ortiz on the attempt. Now Tartan back in the attacking third. Throwing coming up for Solis Guzman, number 8. And he'll try again. Again, just a regular season game, and there's no cutoff for the playoffs. It is all determined by section seeding. But this does have that postseason vibe. Solis Guzman had a few chances. No one there to pick up his centering pass. North St. Paul sends it the other direction. Chest trap by Gino. Sarabia Pinzon. Ortiz again.
North St. Paul really transitioned quickly. For a while it was Sarabia attacking zone, and then suddenly there's 4 or 5 guys up there to help. Great step timing on that. All ball, breaking up the play. They continue to fight for possession. North St. Paul wants to lock it in here, wants to put it on goal, get another number on the scoreboard.
Pick up that insurance goal. I know you mentioned the 2-goal lead being the most dangerous. I feel like in some respects, maybe the 1-goal lead is, because there's a little room for error. Substitution. Sarmiento Guzman, who got the yellow on the foul that was assessed to Brian Zhang. Didn't see the extracurricular afterward. I'm guessing he must have said something that didn't sit well with the head referee.
Number 11, Guzman.
When we see Solis Guzman coming off the field.
And that was the delay. They were trying to figure out who's he subbing in for.
Continues to work it around the outside. 2 on though. He is trapped into that corner.
And Tartan able to bounce it off of North St. Paul to get the throw in.
Really taking some liberty on that throw. Yeah, the referee says, hey, back up. You know,
Yeah,
a couple of steps you can usually get away with, but 10 yards or more, they're going to call you back.
They'll give you a little leeway, but no, you can't cheat your way forward like that.
Oh, and you know, players try and do it all the time.
I suppose you never had to worry about that as a keeper.
No.
Well, you really couldn't pull off any tricks because you couldn't go outside that box.
Yeah, I mean, different kind of tricks.
Like you can't.
I couldn't cheat the line.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You can't cheat the line. It's right there. Everyone can see it. And you couldn't cheat that one either.
No. Now I will say for the punt, it's supposed to. You're supposed to. It leaves your foot within the 18th. There's a little wiggle room on there. Think about the eyes of the referee, how close they are to the play, what they're seeing. Not that I personally was ever trying to kick outside the box, because I mean, really, what's 1 more yard gonna make a difference?
So are you suggesting goalkeeping is one of the most honest positions out there as Tartan sends a shot from deep that bounces wide right?
I am suggesting that, and I would...
Because you can't cheat the line, and as you pointed out, 1 more yard isn't going to mean all that much.
The goalkeepers are usually given the benefit of the doubt on foul situations as well. If there's a dispute that seems like it could even suggest that the field player is guilty for a foul or an aggressive situation, like 9 times out of 10, the foul's going to be called on the field player, which gives goalkeepers a little bit of a leeway to be quite aggressive coming off their line, as we have seen Herreratus multiple times coming off his line aggressively for the Titans. But yeah, there is some physicality, opportunity that I would use to my advantage, certainly.
North St. Paul flips the field once again.
Wow.
Centering pass. Gino save! Herreratus with an epic stop against one of the state's leading scorers.
North St. Paul did a great job of working it out of that corner in really tight conditions. And, you know, I'm wondering, they've had to work the ball out of that corner multiple times now where they're double teaming, triple teaming, really tight space. Wondering what the Polars' opportunity might be to work it out at the opposite side, to take the left lane as they're attacking. Work it through there, because there's certainly heavy traffic that they're dealing with over on the right.
They did have some success moving upfield from the left side. They're trying to go up the left side now, and Tartan will get a throw in around midfield. Takeaway by Medina. Ortiz. Official gets out of the way. North St. Paul. That was a risky reset with a couple of Tartan forwards lurking about.
Yeah, a little late communication on that. Hey, I'm playing this ball to you. Go to it.
Like we said, a miscue could write the closing of this story.
What a wasted ball. And Titans really needed that for a better attack.
So Escobar Perez setting it up for Rodriguez.
The left boot. All the way to the 50. Almost too far, because once you get past the 50, your forwards are usually more central.
It does result in a throw-in, though, for North St. Paul, so it does work out.
Yes, they
perhaps
get a good
indirectly.
ricochet.
"21 minutes, just about, to decide this one. And what could be the first of two meetings, depending on how Section 4-3A is seated. And there's a Tartan player who is down on the backside. That is Abraham Silva Jesus.
Imagine they'll let it go out of bounds here to give him a minute to recover, assess an injury. Looks like it might just be a cramp as his teammates lifting that lower leg.
Cramping has been an issue in the first month of the fall season. And it reminds me of a conversation I had with your teammate Jody, who is affectionately known as Moose, about hydration procedures.
Oh, she takes that very seriously.
Well, it led to a quip from a fellow sports director over at North Metro that may not be entirely safe to repeat on the air. But I'm not surprised Jody takes it seriously. She was talking about how you have to start a few days earlier and how you have to check every facet, not just how much you drink, but also other factors.
Oh, a bodily investigation, I think is what you're referring to.
Yes.
To check hydration status, yes. And it is a matter of starting hydration early, days in advance, and incorporating electrolytes.
Ortiz looking to electrify the North St. Paul side, and that one will roll. Well, I was going to say roll into the abyss, but the assistant referee was there to stop it. North St. Paul working for the right side, and a goal kick.
Tell you what, Mike, the ball has been down in this half quite a lot. About halfway through the second half at this point.
It has been every which way.
The Tartans are doing a great job of breaking up the play, and it's starting to work it out.
Now Tomas Sarabia Pinzone breaks it up. Keeps possession. Ortiz not going full speed. One defender through.
Muscles through the defense.
Goes to the backside. Sam Yang is there. Oh, another close call. And a throw-in.
Yeah, you could argue that it was a dangerous play by Santi coming out. But you'll notice he comes out with his legs first to try and absorb some of the play, which sometimes can get you called as a foul, coming out legs first. But it was a debatable stepping forward. But when you have a player in front of you who's just beat 2-3 defenders, muscling his way through, well, then that's it. You're up. You're the next guy, and allowing that forward space to make a move, make a cut, put whatever foot they want on it. You know, more times than not, it works in your favor as a keeper to come up and break it up before they're able to take that opportunity.
Abdi Malik Nur got fouled, so he will send in this free kick. Ricochets back out, a little past Florless. And Tartan will pick it up on the throw-in. It would seem Abdi Malik Nur is saying, wait, didn't they touch it?
It is the Titans' ball. They're waiting for a couple substitutions. And again, doing a great,
Ortiz
okay.
will check out.
Well, looks like it will be North St. Paul's ball. All right, Polars move up. Great settle.
Can North St. Paul pick up that coveted insurance marker? Does Tartan?
Yeah, Tartan is just creating so much traffic in there to physically block. I'm basically like a wall. They just had 5 guys congested blocking in front of the Polars' offensive attack.
I was going to say, does Tartan have something up their sleeve to get one back?
I mean, that's really
Tough clearance.
It really seems to be their strategy against Sarabia Pinzon, because he is such a phenomenal player and can still work it through. But the drawback to putting 5 guys into the defense and having them completely occupied in front of Sarabia Pinzon is that as you transition, they've got all of them need to transition quickly.
North St. Paul trying to clear it out. Ball still hovering near the box. A whistle.
Corner kick.
Corner kick, okay. I thought I saw a whistle, but instead the ball just popped out and went past the field of play. This is just the 3rd corner kick for the Titans. And they are not wasting much time. Seguro Hernandez. Ball's loose and it bounces in.
Awesome timing.
The captain, Damian Smith, evens us up at 1.
Oh, this crowd is going crazy. So excited. And a card is being issued to someone on the Titans bench. I believe it was for someone who is a substitute and has their penny on, is supposed to be behind the line, but came out onto the field to celebrate. The players who are on the bench are supposed to stay on the bench and not come onto the field. So my guess is that that's what this card was about. Here we get another look. It was a pretty deeply played ball, but you can see there were 2 Titans ready for it on the back post, beyond the back post, really able to get their body behind it to push it into the net.
Number 4, Damian Smith.
Excellent to capitalize off of that opportunity, because up till now, a lot of the Titans' offensive attack has been more or less hacking away at the ball in the offensive third. So to see that coming through, to see it coming through as an organized play and a team effort could motivate these guys to continue to play cohesively. And of course, you got that home crowd excitement building as well to give them some momentum, finish out this game.
Now, there will be no overtime or extra time in regular season soccer. Most of you know that by now. Hang on, I'll segue to the point I was going to make in a moment. But Ortiz is back out there, tries to arc one in. Save by Santi. Herrera. Oh, ball's still loose. Ortiz trying to pick it up. Idatus with another big one.
What an exciting counterattack on the Polars. Ortiz was able to put that shot on net and really get a rip coming around it, enough of an arc on it where it bent onto the goal to be a shot on goal. Such a bend on the ball, and then a second shot as well after the fact. So a great counterattack by the Polars, who are clearly not done yet.
I was going to say the segue to overtime. This game cannot end in overtime because regular season games do not have them, but the Mercury and Lynx now in overtime in game 2 of their WNBA semifinal series. Phoenix coming back from 17 down. And again, if you were just joining us or trying to recap, understand what took place, Damian Smith scored in the 64th minute off the corner kick, but a yellow card was issued. I believe it was given to Jonathan Clendenin. As Berg noted, Clendenin, or one of the Tartan players, left the bench area and went onto the field of play amidst the celebration. And you cannot enter the field of play unless you are substituted in or designated a starter. One or the other. Ortiz. Slicing and dicing.
Excellent ball control.
Dribbler.
Oh,
another save.
Oh my gosh.
Idatus coming up clutch.
Big time save.
North St. Paul, the cross is too long. Tartan fired up. And their keeper, the senior, one of the several honored at halftime. Coming up big for Tartan against a barrage of North St. Paul chances. 13-30.
You can feel the shift as well. The crowd going wild. Santi with that big save, motivating the team to get the ball back downfield and to get an extra burst of energy. Now they have to be careful because Polars are by no means sitting on their heels. They are ready to counterattack immediately. So the Titans will need to stay in it mentally, as well as utilizing this energy to move the ball down the field. They need to stay sharp and focused, as well as energized.
There is a player down for Tartan. That will lead to a clock stoppage. That's number 7, Solares Romero. And he'll head to the bench to get checked out by the trainer. Again, that happened away from the play. Didn't see what happened. That stops the clock with 13:06. Our scoreboard is offline for the moment, but it's even at 1 with just over 13 minutes remaining. Segura Hernandez had the assist earlier, and Tartan nearly had the go-ahead score.
It's a good cross, just couldn't get the right angle on the ball. Excellent height to the cross as well. Very approachable for a header into the goal.
For the Polars, there's number 16, North returns.
Abdi Malik Nur going back in. So North St. Paul, after giving a couple of their key starters a breather, sending them back on the field. Remember, no limits on substitutions in Minnesota high school soccer.
Playing some kickball.
Approaching 12 minutes. Both teams tied at 1. And if we end regulation at a tie, the match is ruled a draw.
I am surprised that that was not a free kick, or maybe it is coming back. Okay,
it is a free kick.
Normally, for a penalty that's right in front of the sideline judge, they will raise their flag and you know, give it a ring through the air. Didn't see that, so I'm guessing that the center judge called that foul.
Andrew Ortiz on the free kick. We've seen North St. Paul with some epic close calls from about this spot.
Again, good height on that cross in. High enough to get some space, low enough to be able to put a body on it easily.
The fans that are here bringing a lot of electricity. Soccer games, they don't draw giant crowds like football or volleyball can sometimes, but the people who made the trek on this Tuesday evening are getting their money's worth and then some.
You know what I've noticed, Mike, about, you think most the crowd are fans as well as parents. And when you have a large roster like a football team, you have more parents.
Uh-oh.
Ooh.
Push from behind.
Now, the spacing for
If
that
they
penalty,
give a yellow, that would be it for Albino Garon. And yes, he does get a yellow. He got assessed one earlier in the 30th, so that means a red.
Yeah, that was well earned. That was clearly a foul from behind. And what awesome position for the Polars to be in. I mean, to have a free kick just outside the 18 and not far away from the center of the field. Albino Garon just gave them a gift. I mean, that is a gift to have a penalty that close to the goal, just outside the 18, towards the center of the field. So you see the line, or the wall being lined up for the Titans. They've got 3 on the wall. I imagine that the line judge is going to walk them back.
Center
here.
ref, yep. Because you have to have the 10-yard halo.
It's strategic, It's strategic to get close to the ball because you'll notice number 5 for the Titans is turning around, looking at the goalkeeper. The goalkeeper sets the wall. Goalkeeper standing at the post and telling the wall, move left, move right, so that they're sufficiently covering one side of the goal or the other. So that Santi can cover whatever side the wall is not covering. So it's a strategic placement, and in order to get everyone lined up on time, they say go up to the ball. Well saved by Santi. Go up to the ball, stand on it, because at that point the referee is forced to come and walk them back. It adds at least another 30, 45 seconds, allowing the wall to get in the most ideal position.
Scorebug back online. And Hadous tallying save after save. He is playing the game of his senior season. At least this would be a candidate for game of the season. But it's still a gift for North St. Paul in these final 10 minutes because Albino Garon picked up his second yellow. Again, that leads to a red. So Tartan is down a player the rest of the way.
That makes a big, that's a big impact on a game that is this close. That's such a nail biter for possession, for shots on goal. To be down a player is significant.
Intriguingly, I covered a game earlier this year where the winning team lost a player to 2 yellows. That was Woodbury beating Maple Grove. And they were able to adapt by going to counterplays more often as opposed to sets to mitigate the disadvantage. We'll see what Tartan does here. If they can hang on and force a draw down a player, I think they'll take it.
Yeah, that would be ideal for them at this point. The number of shots on goal that the Polars have had comparatively, the number of opportunities that they've had, I don't see the Titans putting in another goal when they're down a player. So, yeah, I agree. What would be ideal is if they can play smart, hold possession, hold the ball, and, try for the tie.
Another stoppage with 8:17 left. And again, it's not as if Tartan cannot score, but they might have to try a counterplay. Free kick for North St. Paul. Can they cash in on the spacing? Well, that pass went nowhere, and Tartan's able to scoop it up. Here's where they can strike on a counter. Whoa!
I mean, he's got 4 guys in front of him. I don't know where he thinks he's going to be able to go with the ball.
Right, but how about Toon? He just trapped that with his legs. Deep shot.
Well, that was living on a hope and a prayer.
It was, but Escobar Perez putting himself in harm's way for a moment. Like you said, the keepers get more leeway, but that still, I imagine, is not comforting when you have a position player coming at you at full speed. Ortiz working the right side. North St. Paul generating a lot of attacks from that area in the second half. Soft tapper goes right to a Tartan player. Now North St. Paul attempting to regroup.
Muir being held, physically held. I don't know, the ref isn't calling that necessarily. We'll get a goal kick instead.
Again, Tartan playing with 10 on the red by Albino Garon. And as a result, because Albino Garon was issued a red from the 2 yellows, he will not be available in their next game.
Tried to split the defense, too narrow of a lane, unfortunately. The crowd is certainly trying to bring the amp up.
Ortiz to Nur. North St. Paul rotating a bit. Can they get a good look? Foot race. And sending that one away is Ramirez Maldonado.
He's pretty happy about that too.
It's a defensive stop.
They will award a goal kick, and it looks like one of the forwards for Polars, again, either having a cramp. It looks like a cramp. I'm gonna just call it a cramp. Really wasn't a whole lot of traffic before that. But you know, it's late in the day too. And they've been playing a full game. So if you're not hydrated coming into it, you know, that all these guys have been sweating quite a lot now. This is what's gonna happen.
That's Andrew Ortiz. I do have a score. Mercury come back from 17 down to beat Minnesota in overtime, 89-83. So that series now even at 1.
Well, thanks for the depressing news, Mike. Someone had to deliver it.
Well, depressing if you're a local, not so
Yes.
depressing if you're a Mercury fan, but you know how it goes in Sportsburg. You played them from high school all the way through your Vixen days. Even tonight, another example of how you never know what will happen in a game. I thought North St. Paul had a slight edge, and they certainly have played well, but Tartan has met them for the most part, especially number 81.
Yeah, Santi's really held this team in it. Not to diminish the effort by the midfield, especially for the Titans. They'll see it all the way to the end line.
Corner kick for Tartan. Remember, they are down a player. When Albino Garon got his second yellow, that becomes a red. They play the corner kick short and send it out of harm's way. Under 5 to go.
Not a bad idea to try and put it on net.
Again, if we end at a tie in regulation, it will be counted as a draw. There is no overtime.
Tartan started a little out of position, but we're able to get back into the position and work the ball out of the back. They just have to be more mindful about these clearances, where their players are, being aware before they get the ball at their feet. Where are my teammates? Where am I going to kick it once I get this ball back for my team?
North St. Paul has to backtrack for the free kick. You see a little more urgency with time running out.
Whoa, what a ball put into the middle.
Foul from behind.
Wow.
Penalty kick coming.
That's right. Wow.
And
right in front of.
Nur looks like he took a hard hit. Yellow card.
The crowd doesn't like it, but the ref is on. That is the correct call. A PK and a yellow. Santi is going to have to come through and save the day once again for these Titans.
And that is Brian Ramirez Maldonado, who's called for the yellow. Another look. The slide from behind.
Slide from behind, yeah, right in front of the box. If I was Santi, I would be very upset. And I never hesitated to let my defenders know, don't be fouling in the box. Don't give me an unnecessary penalty kick. There was still a guy in front of the forward who could have defended and taken the shot.
And it's Gino Sarabia Pinzon, number 3 in the state in scoring, who will take the penalty kick. That could be the decider.
You see a handful of players outside the box as well, ready for a ricochet.
Here comes the PK.
Oh.
Perfect.
Santi doesn't like it. I'm not sure what he's trying to yell out towards the bench.
304, scored by number 9, Gino.
The 22nd goal of the year.
I don't know, it looks clean to me. I'm not sure what Santi's upset about. You know, some people could criticize that he went to the middle of the net, but when you don't have time to react, the ball is just so close. When someone's putting a shot on goal from that close, you have to guess. As a goalkeeper, you have to guess. So you take one side or the other, and that is a strategy to just put it in the middle.
There could be some frustrations too on the part of Hedatus because he came up with save after save. He was a big reason this game was even at 1, and now North St. Paul 3 minutes and 4 seconds away from victory.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he was yelling at his own defense. I probably would be.
Well, like you said, there was another defender near Nur, so it's not as if Santi was all by himself. And you have to be mindful of floor awareness. As Escobar Perez, why did he
I have
trap
no
it?
idea.
He was well within the
idea.
box. He could just fall on it. What was he trying to do?
Yeah, I really don't know. A little bit of sloppy play on the other side, at the other net.
Tartan has to back up.
I'm trying to remember if there has been a clean save this game by Escobar Perez.
Tartan jumped the line, jumped the throw-in spot too much, so North St. Paul will take over. We're going to talk a lot about the ending to this game, Berg.
You know when it gets called back, it's not the time to argue or be like, what are you talking about? What happened? You know, this is a tight game. Get your head back in the game. Play.
It started with the foul on Ramirez Maldonado, fouling Nur from behind inside the box. Gino Sarabia Pinzon converts the penalty kick. And now North St. Paul 2 minutes away from victory.
They'll let Santi take it. Smart.
And a throw in for the Polars. As the ball bounces back onto the Tartan side, Berg, I don't know which moment you could point to as the exact moment where the tide turned, but it may have started when Albino Garon got that second yellow that led to a red.
Yeah, that was certainly a difficult moment for them to come back from. And they did get some momentum at one point. But the tenacity of the Polars.
Nearly added
great
another
save
one.
once again. The tenacity of the, really, if I'm on the Titans team right now, let that light you up. You know, they're still kind of standing around. A lot of guys in the back. We've got 3 up top right now. Everyone else kind of jogging forward, starting to work their way up top. There should be at least 3 guys in the box right now ready to cash in on that cross in.
Corner kick for the Titans with 20 seconds to go. The Titans may not be done.
And now they're pulling the whole team into the box. Got to make it happen here. 15 seconds.
No sense defending now. Header! Offline. That's going to do it. North St. Paul, in an epic clash against their district rival, ekes out a 2-1 victory.
Good game, good game.
Totals on the board were correct.
And you can see, well, not quite on screen, but the Tartan players beside themselves, apoplectic, disappointed.
Have a good night.
That is Rodriguez trying to console one of them. A lot of these players know each other from club ball and being in the same district. It's not like the rivalries of Oldberg where maybe you weren't as connected, but you can certainly understand the frustration. Tartan was in it all the way until the end, and a couple of mistakes cost them, but what an ending as the Polars go to 7-1-3 to follow up that draw with Stillwater. Go ahead.
And indeed, the Titans put it all on the line. They made some mistakes, but they didn't lose for lack of effort or grit. You see some of the highlights coming through here. There's the first body with the penalty.
That was in the 30th minute. That set up the free kick by Shire to Tomas Arabia Pinzon, just his 3rd goal of the year. That made it 1-0. A lead the Polars would hold at halftime. Tartan, as you said, no lack of chances either. One of the epic saves by Alan Escobar Perez. And there's one of the clutch stops by Santiago Herrera Hetadus. Santi is what they call him. There was a close call.
Yeah, coming off his line there to make that save, putting his body in the way.
Here's the corner from Seguro Hernandez that found its way to Damian Smith, whose header bounced in to even this game at 1. Later, there is the turning point. The foul by Albino Garon, tried to get underneath.
1-2 and done. Onto the sideline.
And North St. Paul, there's the foul inside the box. Ramirez Maldonado upset. North St. Paul sent in their big man, Gino Sarabia Pinzon, who wins it in the 77th minute on the PK score. Burke, what an ending to this game. It had all the trappings, all the pomp and circumstance of a conference and district rivalry. And North St. Paul, I noticed when Tartan lost their player, North St. Paul was able to take over and control offensive momentum. What did you see?
Yeah, I did notice that, and I think that the game became more emotional for the Tartan Titans, both losing their player, playing down. A lot of their drive towards the end was based on that energy coming from the crowd, the energy coming from a big save by Santi. And so without the focus, without the discipline, playing on strictly emotions, just weren't able to capitalize and come out with either holding the tie or taking home the W for their group. Clearly these guys were playing with a lot of heart. You saw a lot of guys towards the end needing some consolation, and they gave it their best effort. Just wasn't enough. North St. Paul Polars brought their A game, and they did well.
They go to 7-1-3. Tartan goes to 5-4-1, and North St. Paul takes another step toward favorable seeding in their section. For Berg and the rest of the SEC crew, this is Mike Beaton thanking you for watching live coverage of high school boys soccer on SEC. I'll be back with you 1 week from tonight for high school volleyball. Until then, thanks for watching.